Good evening and welcome to In Focus. I'm your host, Alexandra Clements. On today's show, we are joined by Dan Helbling, Alden Roth, and Mike Cooknick, and they're going to talk to us about their journey that they took in the documentary they made of it called The Whole Damn Nation. And not only are we going to interview them, we're also going to show you the trailer of the documentary. Coming up right here on In Focus. Welcome to In Focus. We are joined by Dan, Alden, and Mike. Thank you guys for coming on the show today.
Of course.
So to start off, I want to talk a little bit about you guys. So you're all junior cinema majors.
Mm-hmm.
What concentrations do you focus on in cinema?
I am concentrating in directing.
Okay.
I'm in editing.
And I'm in cinematography.
Why did you guys choose Point Park? Did you have any other options that you considered?
Yeah, I originally looked at PTI, and I think I also looked at La Roche, but my friend, who's also directing concentration here, convinced me that Point Park was a really good place to go. I came and did the interview and checked the place out, and I just kind of decided to go here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I applied to here and NYU, and I didn't get accepted to NYU, so now I'm here.
I looked at Duquesne for web development, but a friend of mine went here for cinema, and that's what I've always done. And so I just thought that Point Park was the best choice, and it's worked out so far, I would say.
Yeah, how do you like your choice? Do you think the program is a good program still?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's good.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you guys all like it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have met these two guys. So.
Yeah.
So did you guys know each other? I guess you didn't know each other before school. How did you guys meet?
We lived on the same floor,
Yeah.
actually. So we, freshman year, we all just kind of, anything that happened on campus, we kind of just went to together. I played, joined the rugby team with him, and me and him were just kind of friends from the beginning.
Classes
So.
and stuff,
Yeah.
How did you come up with the idea for The Whole Damn Nation?
Oh boy, a long time ago. Well, are you familiar with StumbleUpon?
No.
Okay, StumbleUpon's a website that you just click that red button and it brings up anything.
Gotcha.
And it brought up a 360-degree photo of the salt flats at night. And I called Alden into my room to look at it, and he's like, yeah, that's really cool. And he's like, we should go there. And I said, yeah, like not being serious, not thinking that we would ever do anything like it. And it just started to spiral into something we actually wanted to do. Originally, we just wanted to make some like small like YouTube videos for it. But then we got to talking to Mike, to bring him on as a cinematographer, and the idea of the documentary just kind of snowballed from there, I guess.
All right, so you took this road trip. How many places did you visit?
Was it 48 destinations? Yeah.
I think it's like 46, 48.
Yeah, 28 states, 48 destinations,
How long did it take?
28 days.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like that would take a lot longer. You
We-
guys are dedicated.
We drove pretty fast.
Yeah, they'd stop enforcing speed limits in the middle of certain states. So.
Do you feel like you didn't get to enjoy some places as much because you had to kind of rush through it?
No, absolutely not. I think if anything, it made us want to go back.
Right.
Yeah. It was more about like we were there and having the experiences with ourselves, and like the places were awesome, but it wasn't like we were there just to see the places. We were there more for the experience.
And when did you take the trip?
What was the date?
2 summers ago, June 23rd to July something.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So right now we are going to take a look at the trailer for The Whole Damn Nation.
You're gonna buy a used van and drive it 7,000 miles?
Word. Big river.
We have bear spray and bats and machetes and knives.
This is very, very good.
Every campground is full.
Is this AAA roadside assistance?
It's so juicy. It's the manliest thing I've done all week.
Running through valleys and screaming from mountains, rushes of water, the fire down under. It's guitars that I feel so alive. When I'm on the road, or whenever I'm alone with you. When I'm on the road, my whole life seems so true. When I'm on the road.
But Mike has not seen the ocean, and since it's his first time, me and Alden wanted to make it, special.
And I will have to choose the road.
So I really loved that trailer. Honestly, I watched it like 5 times in a row, and every time I just wanted to like pack my bags and go on the road and go on a trip. It was awesome. One of my favorite things was the music. Where did you guys find that song?
Oh boy.
Do
That
you
was,
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just a process. I went to high school with a guy named Nick Cooknick, and he was part of a band called My Friday Slacks. But this was a song he wrote all on his own with the producer of Grandma's House Records or something.
like that.
But that was a song that he wrote on his own. So that was Nick Cooknick.
So can we expect more of this style of music in the whole documentary?
Absolutely.
Good, because that's one of my favorite parts. So in the trailer, we saw that you guys had some car problems and issues like that. Can you talk more about all of the problems that you had on this trip? Of course, that's just a long sigh.
I mean, I don't know how much we want to give away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we drove 11,000 miles,
Right.
and that will do a lot to a car.
Yeah.
But it was very hot, and we had to change the oil once or twice.
There's definitely some times where we got under each other's skin a little bit. It was just nature. Nature had us, I think, the majority of the time. So you can expect the environment around us to play a big role in this film.
So I'm sure the gas and all of the supplies and everything cost a lot of money. How did you do all the funding for this?
Gas was out of our own pockets, and some of the supplies were donated, and some of the equipment was that we already had, but we also went through Kickstarter to fund the trip, and that money went towards both production and some of the camping supplies, as well as funding the rewards that we're going to give back to our backers. But do you want to talk specifics about how the Kickstarter went as far as that goes?
Well, so I had gotten interested in Kickstarter like the summer or the semester before we went. So we got together and we made a Kickstarter, and we set our goal for $5,000. And as the campaign went on, it didn't look so good at first, but then it sped up and got better and better, and we ended up getting $7,140.
Wow.
So Kickstarter takes a cut, Amazon takes a cut, but then everything else came to us. So we got lots and lots of camera equipment, like we got lens filters and camera batteries and all kinds of stuff. And then we got a couple of camping things, like we got a waterproof bag to carry all of our camping equipment or our camera equipment, depending on where we were going. Yeah.
Was it ever hard for you guys to, because like you guys are obviously in the film, is it hard to do that and also like direct it and do all the camera work for it at the same time?
I think where the challenge comes in is we get really biased as far as what we want to keep in the movie. But I think that was a lot of the fun of it, was like he loves editing, and shooting it in like those locations with a vast like environment is just, that's fun. So I don't think we took it as a challenge as far as like getting it all together. The challenge was in this process right now is cutting it down, and it's sentimental at some point, so we don't want to take a lot of it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys have a lot of other things going on. Is it hard to work in all of this editing and try and actually finish the whole documentary?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we've been editing for over a year now, so It's just juggling everything between school and work and everything else.
And I know most of the projects that you do here at Point Park in the Cinema Major are mostly like short films. So what was it like trying to finish a feature-length film with that experience?
It's an opportunity like that we learned a lot from. That's for sure. Because the editing process, we did not think it was going to take a year, a year and a half.
Not at all.
So it's a big difference, and that was only with a documentary. So I couldn't even imagine what a narrative film. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, but the principles of like narrative short format storytelling still apply to the documentary filmmaking, because we're still trying to find its story and carve something out instead of starting with the story and shooting to the story. We sort of did it reverse, where we just shot 600 hours of footage and had to carve out a story out of all of it. And I think our narrative filmmaking background and teaching comes into that majorly, because we're cutting together all the plot points and things like that.
So what were your favorite places to visit?
That's like asking us what our favorite movie is. I personally loved Arches National Park in Utah. It was just unlike anything I've ever seen. It just looked like a whole new planet, and I want to go back to it.
My favorite place on this trip was Zion National Park. They say it's sort of like being at the bottom of the Grand Canyon and looking up, but it was awesome. We went on a day that it was 100 degrees, and there's a trail that you actually like hike through a river in a canyon, so that was just the perfect day. And I would love to go back.
Yeah, I would say my favorite place is Zion as well, just because it came at the right time when we were all pretty tired and exhausted, and it was just only getting hotter and hotter in the desert, and the whole hike was through a river that was about knee deep. So that was really nice.
Yeah.
It was just a beautiful landscape.
So did you guys camp the whole time, or did you have other places to sleep?
We camped the whole time, for sure. There was a couple of nights where we weren't on a campground, but I think we should keep that on the DL, I guess.
Some stuff, what about eating? Like, was that difficult? Did you go out to eat a lot, or?
So the goal, or the sort of roadblock that we set up for ourselves for the documentary, was that we weren't going to take any money for food. So we took about a week's supply of food, and it wasn't really like good food. It was like Doritos and beef jerky and carrots, and that went
good to me.
Yeah, it was delicious, but like we didn't get to eat a lot. So after a week, we were out of food, and it changed from we're just three guys going to see the country to we're three guys looking for food.
Yeah.
That was a big change in the whole trip.
That had to be hard, and it had to make you guys tired throughout the whole trip, so doing all this stuff, that had to be rough. If you could do it all over again, would you change anything?
Yes, definitely.
What would that be?
We'd bring food, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, because that keeps your spirits up a little bit. And we keep saying, as we edit this, we say like there's so much we would do differently, and that's as far as camera work goes, and like how we'd shoot it. Because like after going through 2 years, like after we made this movie, we've just learned so much, and especially just looking back at how we did it, we've learned so much from it. So I think from the filmmaking side of it, we would just do a lot differently on that trip.
How did you guys choose where all you were going?
A lot of it was I broke out my atlas, and we saw the salt flats, so then it was like, oh, well, there's Grand Tetons in Yellowstone, and then we got all the Big Five in Utah. So we just saw all these places, and it's like marked like, oh, go here, it's a nice place. So we had our plot points, and we just sort of made a really weird route that zigzagged all over the country. And then people would say like, oh, well, if you're going that far, you got to go to this place and this place. And
so we made it to the coast of California with that.
Yeah.
Are you guys planning on continuing this journey in the future, or is this all we're going to see?
It might be all that you see. I mean, we're definitely going to go on more trips.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Whether
awesome.
we film them, we don't know yet.
The whole damn Europe might happen. I don't know. I'd love for all of this to happen, for sure. But if we had the opportunity to make videos, make a documentary in every continent or country, we would do it, for sure.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Do you think that you're going to make more documentaries in the future?
Yeah.
Those interest you?
Yeah.
There were several places we went on this trip that sparked our interest in other areas
Mm-hmm.
for future documentaries.
So when and where can we see The Whole Damnation?
Well, this Saturday we're having a rough cut screening.
Mhm.
So it's a 2-hour cut. It's not finished. We're stuck at 2 hours and we want to shorten it, but we don't know what to take out. So we're looking for feedback. So we're having people come. It's in the GRW. Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 6:30. And you just watch it and then you stick around for a couple minutes and fill out a survey and help us make the movie even better.
That's awesome. Can anyone come to it?
Any Point Park student, yeah.
Okay.
Any non-Point Park student needs to RSVP 3 days
By the
prior.
15th.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys are all juniors. What are you looking forward to in your senior years? You all don't look like you're looking forward to much.
I don't think we know what to look forward to.
Yeah.
I think a lot's going to be happening
Mhm.
as far as doc class or another short film.
Mm-hmm.
And just starting the festival circuit for
Mhm.
The Whole Damnation. I think that's going to be
Yeah.
a lot of fun. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, same.
Do you have any plans for any festivals that you're going to enter it into?
Couple.
Yeah.
Are we announcing those or no?
You don't
I don't
have to. It's
I
okay.
I don't know if we can.
We're looking at the ones that take documentaries as a seriously, and that there's
Mhm.
ones that are more documentary oriented and like wildlife oriented than others. So we're definitely looking at those because that would be our market. So
Mhm.
those are definitely the ones we're looking into.
And do you guys have any plans for after school yet?
So-
Any ideas at least?
It's a work in progress, I would say.
Yeah.
We're working on stuff, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But nothing is set in stone. Nothing's ever set in stone in this industry.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, we wish you luck in all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Join
Thank
us
you.
next week on In Focus for more interviews with our talented cinema students.